Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. And for once I actually mean that. It is warm and the sun is out. Things seemed ultimately very promising. Until this happened. There used to be like a holder on here, and this is the stick that I was using to hold my phone, as it serves as a camera. And yeah, just before I started filming, it broke. Well, I say just before. I've walked for a bit now because I was given a throat lozenge right before starting, and which meant that I was going to finish that first rather than talk and then have that in my mouth at the same time. It was just an idea of getting my voice to be better. Just it ultimately meant that I had to wait a bit longer, which is fine, because in today's driving lesson went through a bit of a different route than usual this time. So yeah, I'm just I've gone round plenty of places today. So ultimately, I don't mind that as much. But enough about random nonsense. Once again, you have seen the title. I'm not sure what it's going to be exactly yet, but it's going to be something along the lines of to do with achieving monetization yet again. And you might be thinking, but Jacob, did you get demonetized this time? Like back in was it June, I think? The answer to that is no. No, I didn't. But in the background, while I have been maintaining the watch hours on this channel, just in case they end up being at risk of going below 4,000, I'm in the green currently, by the way, so don't worry. But despite that, you'll also have noticed that on Thursdays, I have, I don't think once streamed in several months. In fact, potentially the entire year. Now, why is that? If last year, when I was actually trying to farm the watch hours in the first place, why then did I not stream every single day, minus the days that I was sick or something else was going on? Well, that's just it. Something else was indeed going on, and what was going on was that we dedicate every Thursday now on the Butter Bunch to doing a stream of our own there. And now also Wednesday, but it's been longer for the StarKid ones. I say the StarKid ones because that's what we have been focusing on since about November. And yeah, the first time we did that, watching one of my favorite musicals of all time, The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals, that actually performed so well in the moment that it actually, we went from having, honestly, like 20 odd watch hours for every single month to suddenly going up to 200 pretty much immediately. And that's a jump that I don't think I've ever achieved on the main channel, despite the performance of some of the other videos, particularly the 5 years later ones back when I first started the Great Watch Hour race in 2022. So, hold on, I'm just making sure. There's a car coming, so I'm going to wait here. Yeah, I picked the precarious route this time. I've driven down this path. Not usually while there's the school round going on, but it's been known to happen. So, yeah. Anyway, and there's no sidewalks or anything, or pavement. So, what was I saying? Ah, yes. So, because of that, we've actually managed to pivot from mainly being known for Dragon Ball stuff to now mainly being known for StarKid stuff. And that's mainly, reviews of the same nature as before. And, yeah, so we've kept that going up in the background. So, while the channel was over here was at risk of growing weaker, the other one grew much stronger. And if you remember, sometime in May of last year, when I got monetized the first time, before being demonetized immediately, I I mentioned that I met the criteria basically just before they lowered a few of the requirements. So what used to happen was that for everything to do with the YouTube Partner Program, you would need 4,000 watch hours within the last 12 months of the channel's existence, and you would also need 1,000 subscribers. Now, I'd had the subscribers for around a yearish at the point when I started trying to get the watch hours. Actually, no, that was pretty much immediate, because that's when... Oh, wait, no, because of a few months or so. I forget when exactly I hit that point. But yeah, the point there is... yeah, so I managed to do that, and then, you know, throughout basically the best part of 11 months, I think, overall, from June, July 2022 to May 2023, I was busy trying to use what was supposed to be just 1 year away from university to, amongst other things, secure my place in the YouTube Partner Program, which meant the watch hour race. But yeah, upon achieving that, 3 days later, pretty sure, something on those lines, they lowered the requirements for super chats, super thanks, and channel memberships. Now, I was not to know this at this point, but my biggest source of income on YouTube has been super chats. So potentially I would have been able to achieve that much faster, sometime in the middle portion of doing the watch hour thing, and not having to crank and spam so much later on. So yeah, that was a moment where I was like, well, gee, thanks YouTube. What fantastic timing you have. But yeah, because of that lower requirement, actually, one thing I did do, because the lower requirement now is 3,000 public watch hours in the last 12 months and 500 subscribers. Now at this point, the Butter Bunch had already hit 500 subscribers. So you knew where this was going. So potentially at some point, whether it was be doing more what ifs and such, I would want to try and move some of my focus back to the Butter Bunch, because the thing about the main channel versus the Butter Bunch is that yes, the Butter Bunch has been around for less time, and it is statistically, well, is by the numbers, you'd think would be less popular than the main channel, or my main channel at least. However, when you take into account the individual performance of certain videos, and the fact that with a what if series, people will, it's like with the Mutant Girl, people will go back and watch the old videos all the way through again. When it comes to having videos that tell a complete story, or at least like a part of a story, and you know, go through those methods, and people aren't just looking for specific points, or you know, they might tune out if a reaction gets too boring or something, which is also the reason that I am so focused on trying to get back to certain videos that the topic ends up being too distracting. While that happens with other videos, with the story ones, people watch all the way through, which means even if they're shorter, then the viewer retention is higher, and if they're performing as well, if they get more views, means more people are watching all the way through. So again, the watch hours still mostly came from there. The reason they were so low on the Butter Bunch was because I hadn't uploaded a what if story in some time, and it was mostly just BB uploading potentially very long unedited videos for the most part, a couple of wonky streams, which again, no offense to BB, but the thing with those is, of course, that you know, to where some people will want to go through an entire stream and see what is going on there, or I guess to have like a random discussion or something. The audience we had before StarKid didn't, because they were used to the other stuff. So that was the issue. Which, you know, I mean, it's interesting because arguably the Butter Bunch was the channel that I originally thought of with BB, Shorty, and Aiden. What was supposed to be, oh, this is the things that don't fit on our main channel, and it ended up actually being more consistent and more akin to what a YouTube channel is supposed to look like, rather than the jumbled mess that I had dealt with for, at the time, 6 years, I think? 5-ish? No, 7. That was it, 7. My calculations are off entirely. So, because of that, technically speaking, the Butter Bunch I see as a more successful project than the main channel. But because the main channel was always ahead, that was the one that would be approaching the 4,000 first. But yeah, I guess that raises the question as to what this means for the main channel versus the Butter Bunch. The other members of the Butter Bunch have said that they're going to step up their game. Well, Shorty has said that, you know, they might, essentially, because now there's a little bit of a monetary incentive in order to do so. Because what we're going to do is, you know, we're going to, it's BB who's in charge of that part, and she's going to decide, you know, who's contributed the most. We're going to make it a meritocracy, essentially. But yeah, BB and Aiden have both actually said that, well, they're going to contribute that on Wix streams, of course, first of all. But second of all, they each have other ideas. We kind of came up with random membership tiers. That rhymes. I mean, you can check out what those are about. At some point, I'm going to make an announcement of what exactly that entails, and how each of those formats is supposed to work. So yeah, and then we also do like a random quick stream to immediately notify people as well. At which point our super chat donations enter the $50 terrain, which again is not nothing. It is far from insubstantial. Thank you to Ghosty for that one. So, or for those 3 actually, those 3 super chats. So yeah, obviously that's going to be divided up based on like how that forms. Aiden's probably going to get the lion's share of that, if I imagine correctly, because he was there for much longer. I kind of went to get food and sleep because we found out right after I'd already done a stream on the main channel. So that's how things stand as of this week. As for me, well, I already have a few pending projects for the Butter Bunch, I suppose, some of the other ones that I haven't been doing for some time, like Dragon Ball R&R, Revelation F. Which I think I should have been called Redemption F, potentially, but I don't know. Maybe that's already been covered by the What If He's a Doing Good scenario. Point is, and then other what ifs as well from my end. So, point is, there's a lot that I already had that have been too busy to actually put on. I guess now I have a little bit more of an excuse in order to do so. But yeah, the fear of what's to come in May is still present in my mind, because with the arrival of May, because that's when I was cramming for watch hours the most back in the day, the 12-month period is going to end up declining at some point. So I'm going to end up having to do something about that. I think I have an idea of how to cope with it, but yeah, my surge of Butter Bunch content, aside from StarKid, which of course continues tomorrow, will have to wait, or will most likely have to wait. It kind of depends. Some of the stuff I actually have for months, like But the next What If Goku Married Sooner part I did when I still had my broken arm back in October, so that's or possibly November, right before we started doing Star Kid stuff, so that's probably why in this case. So yeah, so apart from that, I guess also other stuff in the week, I booked a driver's theory test if anyone cares about that, I suppose. There's also some other stuff like people asking about, like, oh hey, you know, there's this thing about these summer camps or something that you might want to be interested in that you're going to have a few places, you got to book them quickly. It's like, I'm not equipped right now, health-wise or moment-wise, to really dedicate time to this. And then of course Pixel Month, so yeah, as much as I'm not stressing about Pixel Month for the most part, is the other things that are getting in the way. So there's a lot happening behind the scenes that I'm mostly not talking about, just because, you know, they're not really very interesting. Why would I? But yeah, in case someone's wondering, oh, hey, how come you haven't done XYZ thing? That's probably also why. I understand that I've got another request for voice acting. I've been doing bits of it, basically, where I because that Aiden and KW are calling for lines for I think it was Cryptic Lands Inner Darkness. So basically Klamai Season 2, CLID, we're calling it. So basically because of that, and because it's because now Aiden has taken up a lot of the writing duties, and I think also some potentially some directorial ones, not entirely sure, and editing. He has it's now become a voice acting project, unlike the first season, and because of that, you know, it's been closed casted, so that's why you didn't get like an audition notification. I'm down for playing. I'm down as Zack and the Dark Warlock. And because of all those things, like I said, it's also because of them. The entire season has been written, and they're requesting up to episode 3, actually. I got done with episode 1, and then almost immediately got asked to do episodes 2 and 3. And they're not like Mrs. Dysart levels, like the shortness, I suppose. So yeah, it really depends. But no, that doesn't depend. It's always longer. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. So I just need to potentially get out of the way because got an oncoming people. I didn't frame that because that was actually my old school bus. I happened to stumble upon the original route. So anyway, what was I? Yeah, so I've covered like up to episode 2, but I was talking about episode 3 as well. So yeah, at some point, I just love the fact that they're still doing their usual, where it's like, oh, let's get all these in pretty quickly, which I understand entirely because a lot of the other VAs for our other projects have gone MIA, so to speak, and then it's very difficult to get them to cooperate based on what's going on in their lives and whatever. So I can understand that. I should probably write more people above so we can actually call in some more lines for that too, even though I haven't worked on it in some time. So that's the other thing, you know, I was supposed to do like another gacha project or something at this point in, you know, so I wouldn't have to like wait an entire month to talk about Mutant Girl again. That's partly why Aiden mentioned not talking about Pixel Month. He had ulterior motives. But that was like a secondary thing. Because clearly he's been busy with other things too. But yeah, I too do not wish for Mutant Girl to end up being prolonged as much as it was yet again. I did in fact try to go back to the big tedious scene, but it's so difficult to make get that scene to load. So, something else. I guess the other thing is that I end up finishing watching the Netflix live-action Avatar with my brother, and that was an interesting experience, for sure. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Does it not measure up in several aspects? Also, yes. But I feel like that's probably what everyone was expecting, or something. I don't consider it to be like a huge travesty or anything. I'm surprised that the channel Overanalyzing Avatar, which one that I've watched for some time, actually says that his favorite character is actually Zhao in that one, and Zhao was actually my least favorite interpretation. Maybe because he stands out so much, maybe because I guess Overanalyzing Avatar did also mention that he wanted that portrayal of Zhao towards the beginning. I'm just not sure if I was a fan so much of how they of how they made they made him like much more pathetic and much more of a nobody, because he was supposed to be, you know, imposing from the beginning, because Zuko was made to feel like the nobody. His power and status was insubstantial at first, and it's sort of I guess Zhao eventually takes that from him, but and then the fact that they have him having to, you know, work with another character, which I'm not going to spoil. There's another character behind the scenes pulling the strings, kind of giving Zhao a bunch of the leads that he found for himself originally. Like, because of other characters in the future, like some of the other antagonists, you know, like Azula, Ozai, for example, you know, Zhao kind of gets overlooked, and that was part of his character not wanting to get overlooked. But he was important in the way that he was. That's really it for me about that. I can talk about that at some other point, maybe. I mentioned it on stream at some point. I forgot to bring it up. But yeah, monetization, more important attention to me, I suppose. So please leave a like or dislike to the comment. On that note, until next time, farewell.